Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 25 of Comedy Guy with Louis Ezeran. And I am coming to you from the United States of freedom, baby. We have freedom everywhere. I'm having the greatest time with you guys here. I've got my little setup here. I'm going to turn my headphones down a little bit. So I am in Atlanta, Georgia right now. And I'm here visiting my friend Dieter. Dieter and I went to school together. And he, on the 13 years ago, we went on Euro trip 2006. It was me and Dieter and Adam. And on that Euro trip, that's where I came to like Estonia, and I discovered Estonia. And Estonia was the mistress that I stayed for. However, Dieter met a charming and lovely American lady, and he followed her all the way back here to Atlanta, and he started a business. He's a chef, and this is freedom, baby. You can make whatever you want out of anything. And he started a catering company, and the story kind of goes that he was cooking and trying to get jobs as a chef, and you know, like in the movies, they got real frat boys here. They got colleges, they got frat boys, they got real frat houses, just like the movies. And these goddamn frat houses have their own kitchens, and they're fully decked out. And he got a job cooking at a frat house, and he did a really great job. And he was making them lovely food, and the guys already liked it. And so then the next frat house along said, "Hey, Dieter, why don't you cook for us?" And then he gets two frat houses, and then all of a sudden the third frat house, and then all of a sudden he's got to hire some guys, and then he's got quite the little catering company now, doing very well for themselves. And I've come over here to see Dieter. He's been here for 10 years. Like, I've been in Estonia for 10 years. Like, we had very similar paths up until they deviated, and he went to freedom, and I went to socialist Estonia. Yay! So, I wanted to get out, you know? You gotta have a holiday. I got to stop going to Japan, because I kept going to Japan to check out the video games, but I've now decided that that may not be the wisest course of action anymore, and that maybe what I need to do is, get out and see the world a bit. And I was going to come to New York to hang out with Ari when he's coming through. I'm going to New York after this. And then Dieter was like, "Come to Atlanta, bro. We're going to have a great time." And we are having the best time ever. Let me tell you, everybody at home, if you are a comfortable middle-class person in America, preferably white, you are having a good time. To me, America has been nothing but a giant amusement park here for my pleasure. Freedom is where it's at, and freedom is beautiful. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I am loving it. I got here late on a Saturday. We had some food, get some ribs, get some pulled pork. This is very good. Had a couple drinks. And, Dieter's off as well, because he mostly cooks during the sessions. And this is summer break right now. So he's got time on his hands, and we're going to have some goddamn fun. We wake up the next morning, and now keep in mind that I came here 40 days sober from marijuana, okay? I'm getting off the weed. I had to pull that shit out of my life. But I understood when I come to America, fine, I'm going to, to have some fun. It's going to happen, because it's not really about smoking weed. It's about sitting on my goddamn ass all weekend on the couch, being a piece of shit, eating Prisma Schnitzel. Oh my God, I love Prisma Schnitzel from that goddamn hot buffet bar there. It's the best. And then having the potatoes, sitting around, playing video games all weekend. This is the problem. It's not really the weed per se. So I understood that I was going to come here and have a little smoky dog. So we get in, and we's driving around, and he's showing me some stuff. And we get back, and we had like an hour to spare. We had an hour to spare before the rest of the family came home. And he's like, "We got to do this. Come with me." And I'm like, "Where are we going?" So first of all, we get the vape pen out. So we get the vape pen. It's got a little bit of the good stuff in there. We have a couple of hits of that bad boy. Nothing much, just a little bit. Then we jump in the Porsche. He's got this beautiful black Carrera. It's unbelievable piece of machinery. We jump in the Porsche. We go screaming around the goddamn neighborhood. Whoop, 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 whoop. Unbelievable. And we're not drifting, because this thing's got motherfucking fat ass tires. It's got fat booty tires on the back. We go screaming around the neighborhood, and about 15 minutes later, we pull into this car park, and it's the gun range. We are going to shoot guns indoors at the gun range. And I want to set it up for you that you think maybe this is yeehaw, Donald Trump, we're doing cowboy American style, this is alt-right, this is all like this shooting guns at the gun range, just showing up and showing your ID and going, I'd like to shoot a goddamn fucking gun, is the most natural and normal part of the culture. There's nothing like right-wing and Trumpy and fake newsy about it. It's just a completely normal thing that regular people do. They go down the gun range and just shoot guns, and it's unbelievable. So we pull up to the gun range, and I'm already like, freedom, baby. I want some more freedom. And just as we walk in the door, that's when the vape pen hits me, and I'm high as a fuck walking in here. So you walk, because it's freedom. I don't give a shit. Freedom. Do whatever you want. We walk in, and it's like the entrance of a convenience store. There's a guy behind a counter. He's very polite. He has a southern accent. He speaks very nicely. He's very firm but polite. And they've got counters, like a counter bench, and it's glass, just like you might have any other product at any other store, except it's guns. It's big fucking guns. And there's just all laid out. There's Glocks, there's handguns. I don't know all the names. There's revolvers with the 6-shooter that you can Clint Eastwood yourself up with, and you can buy guns. You want some sort of handgun, some sort of Glock. That was going to set you back about $600. A little bit more expensive than you would want to pay for such a device, as I have come to understand. But if you're buying it from the gun range, then it's like quality, serviced. You know where it's coming from. You ain't buying from the guy on the street. You want that. So I didn't buy a gun that day. I figured that would be a little bit difficult to get home in my carry-on. So we start looking at the guns, and he's like, what gun do you want? I'm like, I don't know what fucking gun I want, dude. I don't know nothing about guns. I don't know. And I just can't. I've just hit America. I'm high as fuck. And I just can't believe that you can just walk in and just select a gun. What gun would you like, sir? And we select two guns. We select a revolver, like the 6-shot revolver, and a Glock handgun. And he just puts them in a shopping basket. Like, you get to take them in it's a fucking shopping basket. Like, we got the milk, the eggs, a couple of handguns. It's no biggie. So we get a couple of guns, a couple of handguns, a couple of boxes of bullets. The gentleman, of course, safety first, wants to see some ID. I show him my Estonian ID. This guy's never heard of Estonia before. He doesn't know like what the country is. Like, I could be showing him my ID for Narnia. Could just be, hey bro, here's my ID for Frodo's Wonderland. Will you please accept it? He accepts it. He writes down my name. Looks like I'm overage. And we basically just show him 2 bits of ID. I think it was about $90 or something for the boxes of bullets and the handgun rental. And we put them in the shopping basket, and we walk through 2 doors. You have to put headphones on, much like if you're watching me, like you got big ass headphones on, you got the safety goggles on, and we just walk into like there's a gun range with like 6 lanes maybe. And I'm just freaking the fuck out. At this stage, I am loving it. I'm just like, we're going to shoot guns. We're going to get high. We're going to drive a Porsche. America is a goddamn amusement park. I'm ready to vote for Donald Trump at this stage. I'm like, build the wall, baby. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. Vote Trump in. Pence 2020. I'm all about it. Freedom, freedom, freedom. So we shoot the handguns. There's a Glock. Then there's a revolver. Didi's pretty good with a revolver. We got a target, kind of aiming, and you got to like, bam! And you got the revolver, you got to pull it a little bit. Like, the Glock, you just go bam, bam. And the revolver, you got to pull it back to the trigger point, then hold, and then squeeze, bam! And it was amazing. Oh my God, we're killing this target. I'm doing all right. Not too bad. Could do a little better. Didi's doing a little bit better than me. He's had more time at the gun range. So we're squeezing off these rounds, shooting the target. If you're looking at the video, you can see in the background, these are some of the previous ones that Dieter had done. You get a target. with an outline of a guy, like literally just like the movies, and you get to shoot that bad boy in the goddamn face or wherever you want. So we're squeezing off rounds. We're having the best time. I can't believe that this is like, I'm not sure if I should be there high. But nevertheless, who gives a fuck? Guy was fine with it. And finally, we get through most of the rounds. And then Dita says, stay here. And I'm like, okay, bro. I'm baked. I'm not going anywhere right now. And, because we've been following proper safety instructions. He showed me how to load it, unload it, how to do the safety. You got to stand back. There's procedures. We're following all the procedures. Oh, we're legit. 100%. So then Dita tells me, he says, wait here. I'm going to bring some back. Comes back with a goddamn MP5 machine gun. And that's with 2 huge clips, and that's what we're going to fire. Because it turns out that the MP5 was Machine Gun of the Week. Because of course there's Machine Gun of the Week. It's goddamn America. Machine Gun of the Week was MP5. This is their choice this week. So we get 2 big clips. They're big, long motherfuckers. And then it's a little bit special. Like the lady has to come along and show us. You don't just quite get handed it. And she puts the clip in. And then first, you kind of stand there and you move the safety down to semi-automatic. So there you can that's basically semi is you can shoot as fast as you can trigger. Bam, 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 bam. So the deal is you squeeze off 2 rounds of semi-automatic just to get your eye in, just to get that sight in, because you want to fucking nail that bad boy. You don't want to just be you got the kickback and all that. So you fire off, bam, bam, squeeze those 2 out. You take the safety, you flick it down to full automatic. You hold on. You picture Scarface. You're thinking Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're thinking Grand Theft Auto. You don't give a fuck. And you squeeze that and you bam, 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 you take down that target. That target was invading your home, and that is your right to take down that target with goddamn MP5 machine gun. Did I mention it was Machine Gun of the Week? Oh, God. So we shot that. And you get to keep the targets. If you're watching the video, you saw I get to keep one on the wall. And it was goddamn amazing. Oh, my God. And it was by the time we're leaving, the vape pen's wearing off. So I'm kind of sobering up leaving this establishment. What just happened? This is a dream. And it's the most normal thing that people will go and shoot guns in this fine. We're in the state of Georgia. So in Atlanta and Georgia, and it's pretty south. They call it south. And Georgia is where they film a lot of shit here. And I think that was the controversy that was in Alabama. But, they shoot a lot of shit. They shoot The Walking Dead in Georgia. And it's a very versatile state. Apparently, the reason that it's very good is that they've got a different circumstance. They've got wilderness and city. And they've got beaches. It goes all the way to the water, even though we're very far inland. It's quite a long state. And when you're driving around the countryside, it all looks like a scene from The Walking Dead. The foliage, and they're going through the forest. And any moment, Negan's going to pop out and go, bam! But it doesn't matter, because I've got MP5 Machine Gun of the Week. Motherfucker, have at it, bitch. Oh, so that was great. Yeah, that's just such a normal part of the culture. And it's not even a big thing. And that's it, freedom. You can do it. You are allowed to do it within reasonable. We don't have our kind of socialistic system where the government says you can do stuff and you can't do stuff. And no buying alcohol after 10 p.m. because we don't trust you and we think that you're not going to drink more, so we'll put the tax up, dickheads. And it's just this part. Of course I can do it. I'm American. The fuck are you talking about? We went go-karting. They've got electric go-karts. This is nuts. So we go go-karting, and they've got electric, goddamn Elon Musk style electric go-karts. And it's great. Full power, very easy on the throttle. And we just started banging around the go-kart track. Super fun. And we had 2 races. They're 14 laps each. And so we had 2 races, and in between, we did the first race, and I didn't have good lap times. Dieter smoked me on the first one. He's a bit more experienced. He drives a goddamn Porsche. I drive an XC90 Volvo tank from 13 years ago. So I'm not really up with my driving skills, let's say. He smokes me on the first one. We finish, and the guy's like, y'all wanna have a break? And I'm like, yeah, I think we'll sit down. He's like, hey, you want to have a beer in the meantime? Like, you can just legit go to the go-kart course, have beers, and then go for more go-karts. He's like, only 2 though. Like, sure, keep it within reason. The blood alcohol limit in Georgia is 0.08, which basically means whatever the fuck you want. Have it. Doesn't matter. Just go at it. Like, they go out, have a few drinks, drive home. Doesn't matter. And I don't think they have the breathalyzers here. That's the thing, like the machine. If you get pulled over, it's the roadside test. Like, you've got to walk the straight line and then put your finger to your nose and like speak illegibly to the police officer and not be black and do things like that to get out. And it's extremely lax. I can't believe it. Apparently also in the state of Georgia, they don't have any speed cameras. So I'll get to that. You can just fang down the fucking highway, and like, they got miles. First of all, who knows miles? I don't understand miles. What are these miles things? But you can go 10 miles over, like, before the cop even thinks about like that you might be a problem. You can go 10 over. In Estonia, it's like 2 and you're done, motherfucker. Like one, and they pretend they're being generous. So, and if you're like, you can just fang down the highway. No one like, if you're not like swerving and shit, you're just going fast. They don't give a fuck. Freedom is amazing, people. I am like, if you've got the money, this country is great. I don't have the money, but thankfully, my benefactor and patron, Mr. D. Quinn, is helping me out, and we are enjoying ourselves and having a good time. I really wanted to come to America also, because it's all like, what do we know from the news and social media, right? What do we know about real America? We're like, these are rednecks, they're bumpkins, they got their Mr. Dictator Trump on board, it's all terrible, everything's bad. And I wanted to come to just talk to people. And you know what? The more I talk to people, the more I find they're all right. Like, I mean, the center of Atlanta, I think, is quite democratic, is quite liberal. But as soon as you leave the fucking inner ring, it's all like it's redneck land. And those people are much more Republican and Donald Trump leading. But you speak to people and they're all right. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to, rather than just go, Trump is bad, I'm trying to say, like, all right, what's the reason behind this? What's their perspective? Where are they coming from? And fuck it, it's their country. Let them vote for Trump. Like, why not? Trump is bad. Just, I don't know. If you want it, have it. I mean, yeah, Putin helped a fair bit, but yeah, we went on a road trip. Went to a place called Asheville, not Nashville, Asheville, which is a bit closer. And we just wanted to go away for a night. And yeah, we're screaming down the highway. We took the Porsche, of course. And we took all these back roads, these country roads. We're flying around these roads. There's no speed cameras. There's no, like, barely a state trooper we saw on the side of the road. And again, 2 white guys. Don't worry about nothing, okay? You guys will be all right. It was tremendous. And but when you leave the city in the fine state, we went through Georgia and we went north to through South Carolina and then to North Carolina. We were like 3 hours of driving. It was very close. And as soon as you're out of the city, guys, it is nonstop strip malls and churches. And that's all it is. So strip mall, for my Estonian friends listening, it's like outside. Like, there's no inside section of the mall. There's just a huge car park and then like one like storefronts of shops. That's called a strip mall. There's no inside section to it. And there's huge car parks so you can drive there. And it's just endless strip malls. Every McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, cookout. Waffle House is amazing. If you've ever seen like a classic American diner, you walk into the diner and there's a chef and it's called a short order and you can just get whatever you want. I want some eggs, I want some bacon, I want some waffles. And it's just like you want to drink and get a hangover just so you can go to the Waffle House and enjoy all their goodness. And it's conservatively priced. So and it's just non-stop. All these strip malls with massive car parks because we're driving. And we drive here because the fuel is approximately half the price that we pay in Estonia. So you got your big friggin' gas guzzling land tank. It's just half the price. So it's not the same issue that it is for us. The cars are cheaper. There's less tax on them. And the fuel is goddamn half the price. So why wouldn't you have Mum's soccer tank to take all the kids everywhere they need to go? And driving through the countryside. I mean, we're in the South. This is literally, you've heard the Bible Belt, the Bible bashers, the hardcore religious. This is literally the land of it. And there's a church every 500 meters. And all the different types, the Presbyterian, the Baptist, I don't know what they all are. And there's just endless churches. By far the most common thing after strip malls is churches. In the city, it's a strip mall. Outside of the city, just churches. And you just can't believe, where are all these people coming from? How are they filling up? We saw one, it was like a stadium. We're driving along, I'm like, oh, it's the stadium where they have the rock concerts and things. And we're like, no, that's a big goddamn cross on top of it. And I don't know. I would say 10 to 15,000, just judging from the outside. Also, I'm not, even though entertainment and putting on shows is my business, I find it hard to judge a stadium above 7,000 because that's the biggest we've got. Circle can put 7,000 in. So I'm I don't really know how big a stadium gets with people, but I reckon 10 to 15,000, and it was a goddamn church. So that's all the countryside is. And beautiful. There's mountains. Oh, we're having a good time. We went to Asheville. It's hipsterville, where there's breweries, there's barbecue. Barbecue for them is just pulled pork and real southern, whole food and cornbread. It's some sort of bread they make with corn. I don't know, they fry it. It's really good. We're having that. And then we ended up we asked the bartender where to go. Because one thing of my friend Dieter, he is very good at just talking to people and just working it out. And I was always introverted, or not introverted, but always far more reserved. But Estonia has just made me completely inward. I'm don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to no one. You don't talk to me. I'm just shut the fuck up. I rarely approach people, and I'm not good at it. And there's certainly in Estonia the extra layer that if I'm approaching sort of anyone, maybe particularly over a certain age, in the countryside, I've got to factor in language as well. But Dieter has always, wherever we have been, even through the trip, always had a fearlessness about just walking up to anybody. And certainly all these Americans are charming and they all want to help you. And everybody, you're walking down the street, they're like, hey, and nodding in the cars. If we're driving around in the Porsche, dudes just come up beside and hey man, nice car. And you just talk to them and then have a little fun down the road. Anyone could talk to you at any moment. That is somewhat off-putting for me because I'm just walking down the street. I don't want to talk to you. Get the fuck out of my way. But they're all so nice and they're all so accommodating and appreciative. And, well, at least they say it, right? And it has been, maybe it's harder to get a deeper conversation, but it is also just nice to just have it easy going and, back in native speaker land, so I don't have to sort of worry about too much and I don't have to worry about the complexity of the conversation and will I get myself in too deep and, I've assaulted some poor person with my fucking kangaroo English out of nowhere and I feel bad and they feel bad, they can't respond very well and none of that. So we find out where to go in Asheville and there's a place down by the river called Old Shakey's and it is a fucking dive bar. It's a wooden shack. We get down there. there's like a DJ playing this like hard rap, southern stuff. The beers are cheap, and we just had a great time. Like everyone came in the town there. That clearly was the place to go in the town, because later on, it not only did it fill up on a goddamn Tuesday night, the servers that we had at the barbecue place and the bartender showed up later. So it was already like, yeah, baby, we know all the people. And like, just really, they're all really nice, and everyone was really calm and cool, even though it wasn't like unsafe or nothing. And all the staff were nice, and we just got plastered. God damn. I think we bought drinks, and we were having a good time, and everyone was getting drinks, and it wasn't even that much. It was so cheap. And so, yeah, we got goddamn plastered at Old Shakey's down there. If you look at my Instagram, there's a picture of me trying to like touch myself in front of an American flag. That's at Shakey's. And I loved it because it felt like I was talking and hanging out with real people. Not real people, sorry. Like less well-off people. Because America is a society of many sorts of people. That is the great freedom land that we have here. And hanging out with my friend here, I mean, they're comfortable middle-class people, right on. They work hard, they still work. It's a good company. He owns the company. But, we're pretty comfortable middle-class here. And they're, of course, the people that you mix with. And you might say, well, God, this dude's got a goddamn Porsche. Yeah, sure, but, like, for this neighborhood, that's pretty low rents. We went for a jog around the neighborhood. There's some goddamn mansions. And every imaginable. They have such a hotted up car culture. I don't think we really have that hotted up car culture in Estonia. Like there's some nice cars, not as much as before the financial crisis. Remember that like there was I think it was 2008, 2010. And there used to be like every dude on credit had like the AMG, the top Mercedes-Benz, fancy. It was goddamn better than Germany. Every tricked out thing. And then I think because they were all being financed out of Swedbank, they all got repossessed with that 2010 financial crisis. And so now I think in Estonia we see many more just reasonable, like nice, but just reasonable family cars or like middle class, because now the middle class is rising in Estonia. We kind of go middle class. And, hold on, I'm going to close the door. Whoops. Sorry. I had to go there because everyone's coming home. So I don't want to disturb with my yelling. So, what was I talking about? The cars. Yeah, so it's just like, you can't look at everyone in America and just go, oh, they're materialistic. Oh, they want a big house. Oh, they want a Porsche. You have to put it in the context of who is the demographic and community you're in. And, if you're a comfortable middle class, why the fuck wouldn't you? Like, why would, like, it's nice. These are nice things to have. Why the fuck wouldn't you have all of, like, some good things? I guess you got to, like, not fall into that materialism trap. And I mean, it's just the culture. Like, that's just what America does. They have strip malls. You don't buy anything in a small package. You buy jumbo. You buy 20 of whatever at once from the goddamn Costco. Costco, if you've ever heard that brand name or maybe you've seen it in the movies or something, Costco is like the IKEA of supermarkets. And it's just wall-to-wall food. Everything comes in a jumbo pack. It's kind of meant for industry. It's kind of meant also if you want to buy like a lot at once. And, it's not just like they're all fat fucks just buying, side of a cow for lunch. So you got to kind of put it in the context of where are they in, what's the social circles they're in, and just America is materialistic. Like, that's just what, a bit more. And I guess you can't fall into that trap, and it is very easy to fall into that trap. Like, first few days, I'm a fat fuck. Like, I'm out. I'm eating all the crap we're eating, everything. And it's because it's there, it's relatively cheap. And how could you not? There's every kind of amazing takeaway or great and like good stuff. But just like, why wouldn't you be a fat fuck in America? Why wouldn't you be huge? Because I've been trying to get a little bit healthy. You do a little intermittent fasting. You try to eat, your meat and your veg and maybe kind of hit some low carbs the best you can. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos and they're telling you how to do it. And And they'll always be like, this is hard and you got to work at it. And I never found it that hard. And I was like, well, why is this? Am I some Superman? Am I some amazing, like, fucking ability to do dieting and shit? And no, I am no goddamn Superman. I just live in Estonia, where we don't have so much shit food to eat. You just gotta get some simple foods, some country foods, and plain stuff. Like, it's fine. I can totally understand why you'll be a fat piece of shit in America. It's all the food is there. It all tastes amazing. It's all large portions. I went to Whole Foods yesterday, and Whole Foods is like the most eco supermarket ever. And they've got like a Remy salad bar, but it's like on massive steroids. It wouldn't be steroids. It'd be eco. It'd be like on protein powder. It is racks and racks of trays. All kinds of everything fresh, barbecue, pulled pork, fried chicken, all in the salad bar section, all that you can take. And it's in pounds, and I don't know what I'm buying. I walked out with like $25 worth of salad. I went like 2.5 pounds of goddamn food because I want one of everything. I get it. It's much harder. I've got to make my peace somehow. I have a feeling that I might do better. On Saturday, I'm going to New York, and I might do better in New York, only because I finally got to pay for my own food. Shit. Oh, I love this place. I'm so happy here. Like, I get it. Like, Dita's showing me a good time. I understand this is not the real life, and this is not necessarily his real life, but I appreciate so much that he invited me here. Like, it's just fun, bro. We're having a good time. We're jumping up and down. We're running. D's got a lovely family. He's got a lovely wife, 2 kids. The son, Max, he's totally into Pokemon, like nuts, just like insane. And talks about Pokemon all the time. And but he really likes Pokemon Go. So we've been walking around the neighborhood playing some Pokemon Go together. I'm like, I'm cool. I got Pokemon Go. We can do this. So that's fun. That's kind of nice to connect with him and connect with my friend's son a little bit. And yeah, it's goddamn, I'm having fun. Oh, I know this has to end soon, but Jesus, it's just this freedom, baby. Like, you can just so many more things. It's like, that's okay. Shoot that gun, drive that car. Speaking of cars, I will kind of wrap it up soon, I guess. What am I? I'm sitting at 32. Coming back from Asheville. We were in Asheville. We've had a great time. Well, we're at Old Shakey's, down by the water. Old Shakey's. And something like 1, I'm like, I'm out. I can't. Like, I'm too drunk, and I haven't had any stimulants, and I can't do it. And so we call the Uber, and the guy comes, and he's a nice young man, and we're like, we want food, motherfucker, food now. And so he takes us through some takeout called the Cookout, which is, I don't know, some type of like foodie takeaway thing. And we're like, of course we go through the drive-through, because why would I get out of my car? Why would I do that? So we go through the drive-thru. We're drunk as fuck. We buy him food, and we get like burgers and fries, and I get a shake, and we go back to the hotel room. We got 2 single beds. No homo, man. No homo. And I'm just drunk as fuck, and I just lie in bed, and I just shove hamburger and fries. And I shoved that goddamn fries into my mouth, and it tasted so good. And then I had the shake, all shaky, and it was good. And I was hungover as fuck the next day. Oh god, I was hungover. I can't. I'm too old for this shit. I can't be doing that. So we wake up hungover as fuck. Have the coffee. We got an Airbnb downtown, but it was in like a motel, Holiday Inn. We're at the motel. So the difference is a hotel has inside. That's your regular staying. It's a hotel has inside, but a motel with the M, that's where the doors are on the outside. That's the difference. There you go. Fucking good on you. So we wake up, we drive back, and we're driving down the highway. It's like 4 lanes basically the whole way. And then Dita's like, you want to drive the Porsche? And I'm like, oh my God, do I want to drive this fucking Porsche? What the fuck? Guys. Materialism is the greatest thing. I don't give a fuck. Have your Zen Buddhism. Have your goddamn retreats. Get your special time. Have beautiful times with your families. I want to drive the goddamn Porsche again. Oh my God. This thing is unbelievable. You just, it's the Porsche these days. It's the modern one. You put your foot down and it just goes really fucking fast, all right? Because you don't have to shift or anything. It's not a manual because they don't really have many manuals anymore. Manual gearbox, I mean, because the computers are just so much better at it. So it's like, why would you? And we just go down the highway and it's just launched. Like you just put your foot down and you're on another planet. You're just like holding on. And I would want to say holding on for dear life, but it's so smooth and nice. When you cruise down, you got that power. You just put your foot and there's some button. You press some goddamn button and it makes the exhaust louder. I don't know what it actually does, but it sounds like, and you go through a tunnel and you're hearing this blah, 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 and it's just, it makes my loins feel good. Like it just made my pants feel good. With just that low rumble. And then you go through a tunnel, so it like reverberates and the sound goes, and oh my God, I lose my load. Like I'm out. Like just, it feels good. I don't need, like it's just, halfway to an orgasm. At least halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way. It's, the feeling of this car is unbelievable. And we're not doing any country roads, so I'm not doing any twisties, but we're going down the highway and it's just like speed limits. They don't give a fuck around there. It's freedom. So there is a speed limit. It's like 65 miles, which I have no idea what that is in kilometers. So the first thing is, there's no speed cameras in the state of Georgia. And so the only way they can get you is if the state trooper is sitting by his car. And I saw one and I think he had a radar gun. But first of all, they won't even look at you if you're going less than 10 over. So you can go 75 without breaking a sweat with this guy. I went by at like 15 over and he didn't give a shit. And it's like, and it was pointed out to me, it's more like if you're causing a hazard and you're swerving and in and out, but if you're just going fast, like you're really fine. So obviously if you're going too fast in the city or something like that, but just, oh my God. And then we put the foot down and it's like, we're doing 105 miles an hour, which is something like 160 kilometers an hour. No problems. Top down, because of course, why not? Why would you have the top up like a fucking idiot? And it was an unbelievable experience. And I'm so thankful and grateful that I got to drive that thing. And because that's how it goes. The family here, they got the Porsche. They got a BMW X5, which is Dita's work car. And I drove that around last night. I went to Whole Foods in the X5 and windows down, roof open, blasting rap music as I drive around Atlanta. I felt like a bad motherfucker. I want to go shoot some guns or something again. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, give me the vape pen. We're going back to the gun range. It's an unbelievable fairy tale life to live here. Like, if you're good and you've got nice things, I can see how you would like materialism because I'm all about fucking materialism right now. All right, guys, I've been rambling for like 40 minutes now, so I'll try and wrap it up. I'm chilling out for a couple more days here in Atlanta. I'm going to, I'll tell you about one more thing that I did here. And this is, I guess, for the people who have come. I went to something that you can't do in Estonia, or at least I can't do in English. And I hope this doesn't sound a bit weird, and it probably will sound strange. I went to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Alcoholics Anonymous. I went to an AA meeting. Yeah, I wanted to experience it and see what it was like because I've been trying to, get rid of the weed. I don't want to drink very much anymore. And yeah, and this is the problem. Yes, I am drink. I've just told you drunken stories about being high, shooting goddamn guns. So what am I doing at the AA? Because I'm still trying to get help. And like, I don't think I'm like some alcoholic, like, oh my God, my whole life is falling apart, but would like to have less of that in my life. And a lot of it is support and help and getting from those people around you. And I think there was some sort of support and help groups in Estonia. I looked it up and I couldn't really see anything, but for sure it's not happening in English. I mean, couldn't see that. I saw some detoxes, but it was all very about religion and I wasn't really into that religion angle. And a lot of help, like for the hardcore stuff, like if you're on fentanyl and you're on the street, you can get help in Estonia, which is reasonable. And sure, that's what needs help. But yeah, I wanted to experience it just to see, was it like the movies, And it was kind of what I expected. It was really nice. I woke up and I Googled, and there was one starting in 20 minutes, and it was about 10 minutes Uber away. So I call the Uber, I go down there, I arrive a few minutes after the starting time. There's all these people in a room, there's some chairs, they're sitting around, and I just walk in and I just sit down, and they're reading from a book. There's some Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't want to say Bible, but their book, right? Their thing. And they're reading some passages from it, talking about, how to help yourself. And so they read some passages, and they're going around the room, and people are reading passages as they go. And then afterwards, and then you could put your hand up and tell your story. And so it was super interesting and very enlightening, because there were all kinds of people there. Poor people, white people, black people, some young people. Some chick was like, I'm 22 and I got sober, court mandated, like something, that was very interesting. And some people that couldn't have it in their lives, some people that felt great when they're on booze, some people that didn't feel good, some people that are very happy. Most people are very happy to be without the booze. You can see some people struggling. A lot of laughing, like good vibes. Like people try, I guess that thing, they try to keep the fun and to laugh and to remember that everything could be okay. And different sorts of people. One guy brought his son, because his son had lived through some bad times with him, and now that he's been sober, I think that gentleman was 3 or 4 years, he said, and now they've got a better relationship. That was really nice. Other guys like, I'm 20 years sober. And that's very interesting to think about that. Like, he's 20 years sober and he's still coming to meetings. It says something about it as an addiction, that it never quite leaves you. And that he still wanted that support. Something 20 years ago. And it's still a demon that he takes seriously and treats with a respect. And yeah, they have shitty coffee that comes from, and you drink that, and you could put up your hand and say something about your story. And I put up my hand and I said something about my story. And I was just saying, hey, I'm here because I'm out of town, and where I live, we don't have such things in English. And, my thing was that it's probably easy for me to sit on my couch all weekend and smoke weed. I would say I was having a bigger problem with weed than alcohol, but nevertheless, it's all addiction, right? It's all coming from the same place inside of you. And it was very easy to just smoke a bunch of weed, eat a bunch of Prisma Schnitzel, and sit on my couch being a piece of shit all weekend. And because I run the company, I could be like, well, I'm very stressed. I'm very busy. I do very important things. I need this time for myself. And certainly there's some legitimacy in that argument, but not smoking weed, sitting around playing retro video games all weekend and not socializing and not being out there. So yeah, I said something about my story and I was really open. I'm like, look, I don't really think have such a problem, and they were very nice. Everyone was very nice to me. One guy gave me a copy of that book they're reading. I got a look at that. Everyone was very nice, so open, sharing their stories, because they're nice Americans, and that clearly there's something in this group thing. Like the connection between human beings is very important. And yeah, I think I'm going to go again. I think I have a chance now. Maybe tomorrow there's a session and I just catch an Uber over there and I show up and, they pass a basket around a bucket. They got bucket game. I left like $5 in there. I'm very happy that I went. I'm very happy that I experienced it and I could see what it was like for different sorts of people to deal with this. And to get even just it was like an hour, get a very short insight into that. And I think already that has left a very good impression on me. So yeah, I'm going to go to another AA meeting again. And they're cool. Like, you don't have to be like hardcore alcoholics go. You just, you can go, you can be not. Like, they got some meetings that are specifically for the family members. So if you've got a family member or someone close who is not in Alcoholics Anonymous yet, but you think that they should be, there's actually special support groups for that. Yeah, so I like that, and I'm going to New York on Saturday, as I said, and maybe there's different meetings there. That would be also very enlightening to I think there's something to learn about humans. There's something to learn about sharing problems and being in a group. And and maybe tomorrow, actually, there's a jiu-jitsu class up the street. Midday tomorrow. There's a jiu-jitsu school. They got a beginner no-gi class at midday, and I think I'm going to roll along. $20 a go. Jesus fuck. But that seems to be normal. And I'm going to go do that. So I'm trying to just do all these things that we can't do in Estonia, and I'm having freedom, and I'm goddamn loving this place. So I'll wrap it up there. Come in at 45 minutes or so. Thank you for listening to my ramblings and my story. I'll probably do a next one in New York. That's going to be a whole complete other experience. Ari's coming along. We're meeting him for the last couple of days. My friend Sandra from Estonia, she's there as well. So we're going to have this Airbnb in Brooklyn with like 3 Estonians, maxing it up in there. And I can't wait for that. Thank you guys again for listening. I appreciate this. Tell me how I go with the solo ones. Am I rambling? Probably went a bit rambly through the middle, but I love to hear your feedback. I love when you guys tell me something about it. You want to hear more of something, less or something. And I'm on this American trip to find out more and to talk to more different people and to make it happen. So thank you guys. My next podcast will be tomorrow, where I'm going to sit down with Dita during the middle of the day when it's silent and all the kids at school. We'll talk about the old days. But thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.